We touched earlier on when we were talking about planning, about maybe the different resources you might use within your teaching and training. And as we suggested, a good teacher won't actually just be using one or two resources. They'll be mixing it up and always looking to bring in new types of resources and approaches and styles within their teaching. So you can see we've got quite a long list of different resources here. If we just pick out a few of them and talk about how we might sort of use them. So presentations, this could be PowerPoint, this could be Google Slides, or one of the more modern sort of presentation programs that's come on the scene recently is Prezi.com, Prezi, which is a more sort of interactive presentation program. So presentations are excellent for sort of visual aids, for sort of a template for you as a sort of a teacher to actually go through the course content. You can obviously do quite a lot with them in terms of photos, images, graphs, and sort of hyperlink websites, videos to them. So there are lots of opportunities, and they can be really sort of dynamic and interesting. Just with presentation, I guess you've got to be wary of that sort of death by PowerPoint sort of terminology, and make sure you do engage and keep everyone focused, and maybe not be completely reliant upon your presentation. Don't forget, it's about you as an individual to actually bring the topic to light, and most resources should just simply be a cue for you to actually use your subject knowledge to actually, really enhance the experience for your students. Another one we've got on here, flip charts and whiteboards, or maybe interactive whiteboards. So they can be really good for the sort of here and now. So maybe you're having group discussions and you're getting people's ideas down. You could be brainstorming. And it can be really useful just for sort of maybe you put the ideas up, or you get your students to come up and put ideas on the board or on the flip chart, and can be really useful and also quite sort of practical or portable. Maybe your flip charts, you can take them with you to different places, and you can also use the flip chart paper for group work, maybe giving them a slide in 2s or 3s or a sheet of paper, and they have to come up with ideas and maybe then present them back to the actual group. We've put on here handouts. So handouts are very versatile sort of resource. So handouts could be sort of summary of information from a lesson. It could be things like, worksheets, fill in the blanks, quizzes, crosswords, anything like that, and can be particularly useful. I guess with your handouts, your worksheet, it just means you've got to be particularly organised. Make sure you get them photocopied beforehand, and make sure you've obviously got enough copies to actually go round within your group. If we pick out one more on there, so maybe we'll look at sort of role plays. So particularly good for sort of practical, and maybe people that are quite energetic and want to get up, and you might use this, for example, on a first aid course. So maybe you've taught them all the basic skills, and then you're going to do some scenarios, some role plays, which sort of simulate maybe real life sort of environments, and maybe try and put people under that little bit of pressure that they might face within a real life sort of incident, or particularly with things like customer service as well. I know they like to use sort of role play scenarios to try and sort of simulate what it might be like if you're dealing with a disgruntled customer or something along those lines. So there's obviously lots of different resources out there, and if you ever look on your Angravel's textbook on page sort of 83, you'll see a long list of all the different resources you might use. But that gives you an idea, and as we said, as a sort of just reinforcing the key point, you want to try and sort of really vary and mix up the resources you're using within your teaching.